Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're conducting some Hyliion stock analysis. The company has done exactly what Hyliion typically does and has dropped 8 to 9% in a day without any real bad news or good news to associate with it. The company did announce today that it will be announcing its fourth quarter results on the 24th of February, so that could produce some movement, and there are some investors out there that will be eagerly watching that to see if they confirm revenue has been produced, or they're starting to account for revenue now, and just how much that revenue actually is. If that sounds like something you're interested in today, guys, we're going to pick up on numerous other things as well. Do please smash that like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll get in there and we'll take a look. Hey guys, welcome to the analysis section. So here we are watching Hyliion do exactly what it does, dropping 8% in a day down to $4.20 a share. You can see that it has come down nicely today at a market cap now of $720 million, which, when we bear in mind, is sat on a $600 million cash pile. That is something to consider, that there's going to be resistance at that point, or at least most analysts and myself think there should be. So the news that we've got coming out of Hyliion today is that it has scheduled its fourth quarter report for the 24th of February, as I've already mentioned, and they've got a guy called Jay Craig joining the board. So this guy, Jay Craig here, is going to join the board of directors. He's a highly recognised person in the commercial vehicle space and has been at Meritor as a CEO for quite a long time, at least 8 years, and he brings a significant amount of OEM knowledge to the company. So just the company is, again, Hyliion is building its expertise and building the contacts that it needs to have to get these trucks to the market and get people, CEOs of other companies getting involved, getting them all on board. You can read the nice little memo that they've released here on the Hyliion website, which is of course exactly what they want you to see. Now, I did a little bit of digging with this one, so I actually went on Jay Craig's LinkedIn page. So there isn't an awful lot here. He doesn't even have a picture of himself, but you can see that he worked at Meritor and he is interested in been at Duke University, the School of Business, and he's been at Meritor for 9 years, 2 months as chairman for in Troy, Michigan. And then his education was Duke University and Michigan State University. And then if you have a look at his previous companies here, you've got plenty there to add to that. So you've got companies that he's interested in: Volvo Group, Duke University, Michigan State University, Meritor, Detroit Tigers, Bluebird, Belmont, BPM Growth Investors, obviously maybe not that, Mercedes. These are all the guys' interests right there. So a lot that can be guaranteed from that is he's obviously interested in his own company. There's a lot of trucking companies amongst that as well, which is obviously good because the guy is being hired for his connections and being hired for his experience in the sector. So that is great that Hyliion are coming forth and doing that. It shows a level of maturity to the company that they are expanding their board. On the flip side of that, the one bad thing to obviously hiring another member of the board is that he's going to be on a significant pay package, so that's going to come out of the cash pile that Hyliion have got, and then he's probably going to get remunerated with some shares as well, so that'll be part of his deal. And if he starts selling them shares, that could also have a negative effect on the stock price. However, the share price can't really fall that much further, to be fair, and I think getting this guy on board with all the connections that he's got, with his experience, it's just another step along the process for Hyliion to bring their products to the market. And the next thing that I wanted to talk about is obviously the fourth quarter results and the full year 2021 results. A lot of investors with Hyliion will be watching this closely. It's scheduled for 11 a.m. Eastern Time or 10 a.m. CST. You can tune into the webcast. I will do my best to give my live reactions as soon as I can. I might not necessarily live stream it because I don't have that ability at the moment, but I will certainly either live stream myself reacting to it or give a short video afterwards. So this is something very important to tune into. And what we are looking for here is just how much revenue the company declares, how many hybrid trucks that it has sold, any updates on the Hypertruck ERX timeline, anything like that could represent really good news, or obviously the bad news kicking it out further into the grass. I think actual growth in the hybrid electric deliveries and revenue. Obviously, we're not going to see huge amounts of revenue because that's obvious, because they've only sold a few hybrid electrics and ERXs. So we're not expecting huge amounts of revenue, but it would be nice to actually see the company generating this money, and that money then can obviously be accounted for and respent, which would be brilliant. So if we look on over onto Stockwits, the people on here with the 41,000 followers of the stock are all kicking off because the company has fell 8%. This is normal now. If you're a Hyliion investor, a fall of 8% in a day is no big surprise, but there's an awful lot of people kicking off about it, saying that Hyliion is an idiot to all intents and purposes, that the stock's going to $1, that it's the stock price is taking a beating, but yeah, so is every other EV company. People complaining it's going to be delisted after earnings. That isn't going to happen. It's just people kicking off for no real reason. They're venting some frustration, and I do understand that as an investor. You'd kind of want to see more progress than this, but even if Hyliion was on its original timeline or close to it, it still takes time to grow a multi-million dollar business. So even if it was on its original timeline, I suspect that this still wouldn't be quick enough for some of these people on this page, and it just screams impatience to me. And I like to be a patient person myself. And then last but not least, if you quickly check out the Twitter handle, you've got Elaine Chow there joining Thomas Healy at the Hyliion factory, which is absolutely awesome to see. Former Transportation Secretary and Labour Secretary getting the Hyliion name out there and spreading the really good news, and she will no doubt have connections as well. Environment's the next big thing. That is exactly what we're looking for. Get out there and start spreading the really good news. As the age-old saying goes, no publicity is bad publicity. So that Twitter handle feed there from Thomas Healy and the Hyliion page, getting the former Transport Secretary in-house and getting her to view the product, just goes to show that they're trying to get their tentacles out and start getting out and getting this product out into the mainstream and getting people used to actually seeing it, dealing with it, and where the future of the transport sector is definitely going. This has to happen. The environment needs it to happen. So there's going to be a mixture of hydrogen, electric, and definitely the hybrid model that we've got here with the infrastructure in place. That bodes massively well for me. Healy knows this. The US government eventually are going to know it as well, and companies are starting to switch on to it as well, that the infrastructure just isn't there for hydrogen and electric trucks just yet. So we're going to have to do something to certainly be in the middle, or we face the reality of sticking with diesel. So going forward, this is the only solution. So just to recap, we've got a new exec on the board. We've got fourth quarter results coming, hopefully going to report some revenue, and then we're going to see just how that affects the share price going forward. I don't think there'll be a massive change, because I think most people have factored in that there is going to be some revenue, but it won't be a great deal. But there might be some positives from it, and you've got to watch out for these institutional buys as well. So I will keep tabs on that. Thank you very much for watching today, guys. Absolute pleasure to bring you this information as always. Hopefully I'll see you in the next investing episode. Catch you later.